All right, good morning, traders. Today is June 18th, 2024. Thank you for being here. Hey, I want to thank everybody out there in digital land, out on YouTube and Facebook. Really love the kind comments, the thumbs up, the subscriptions. Thank you for being a part of my digital process. Love it. Thank you so much. My SPY pivot this morning is 544.20. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY, QQQ, XLK, SMH made new all-time highs. So they probably put in higher lows and higher highs, closing over bullish traps. FNGU made a new 2-year high and is closing in on the all-time high. All right, so SPY, QQQ, and FNGU are still in uptrends, while Diamond Dow and IWM remain in downtrends. Diamond Dow made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bearish trap and the 17 EMA. IWM made a higher high and a higher low, closing inside the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Gold and silver are both in downtrend. Silver made an inside day, closing inside the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Gold made a lower high, lower low, closing, gold closed over a bearish trap, but under the 17 EMA. USO just started a new uptrend because they broke that pivot high that I was pointing out all week. This week or last week. So USO started a new uptrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing above a bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. UNG still in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing beneath a bearish cross under the 17 EMA. And the US dollar index is still in an uptrend, closed near the 105.25 area, okay? Had a little pullback, but not much. It seems to have recovered it all already. So let's go take a look at some charts. All right. So here's yesterday. Here's SPY. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap over the 17. Okay. So the daily's bullish. All right. Let's take a look at the 2-hour. The 2-hour got price, the 3, and the 8. 2 hours bullish. All right. So we got a bullish scenario there. 10 minute at the last minute we had a dip back, but let me just say we rallied all day long. All right, pretty much ever since we put in this low, which was made at 1040. From there we rallied all day long until looks like about 3:30 right there, 3:40. So 10-minute downtrend. Now in the pre-market, we got ourselves a 10-minute downtrend. That could change. We still have an hour and a half before the market opens. So here's, we left off yesterday with a 10-minute downtrend, but a 2-hour uptrend and a daily uptrend. So a little pullback there. So there's SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. Oh yeah, by the way, my SPY pivot, 544.20. Okay, above that. That's right on the top of these tips here. Above that, I'm a bull. Below that, I'm a bear. So there's SPY, QQQ. QQQ on the daily chart. You can see yesterday's candle making brand new all-time highs. Okay, closing over the trap and the 17. FNGU making brand new 2-year highs, closing over the trap over the 17 EMA. Okay, SMH, same thing, closing over the trap over the 17 EMA. XLK, okay, closing over the trap over the 17 EMA. Okay, XLK new all-time high. SMH new all-time high. FNGU new 2-year high. Take a look at our technicals. All right, so on Friday, we spent the day parked at the drive-in the oversold zone. Okay, we woke up Monday morning. We found ourselves getting kicked out by the bulls. Found ourselves in the sell zone. Finally meandered our way into the seller's chop zone. made a possible higher low right there. So see if we can continue on up towards this midpoint right here at the 50. But still showing weakness here in T2122. T2123, okay? So they sold off till about 1 o'clock, and then it looks like they had to pull back to VWAP. They didn't even fill the gap. They haven't filled the gap yesterday. They didn't fill the gap the day before. They didn't fill a prior gap over here. They didn't fill this gap. They've got so many gaps. They've just been falling out of the sky. It's like they're hitting every tree limb, and they just keep falling after they hit that limb. But here's T2123. Here was the move up. Okay? From the move up we made, guess what? A lower high as compared to over here. So guess what? Failure to make that higher high, and you guessed it, we're going to go challenge those lows. So we got to, let me just take a break real quick. I got an important call I got to take care of. Just a second. All right, sorry about that. Okay, so you can see we made a lower high, and you can see price action because we failed to make the higher high. It's coming back to test those lows. All right, so this is what's happening to us. So you can see now we're caught underneath this falling 200 SMA on the 15-minute chart. All right, let's take a look at here is the 3-bar chart. You can see just like on the 15-minute chart, we are no longer in quadrant 4, quadrant 3, quadrant 2, and we have meandered our way all the way down, melted down all the way back to quadrant 1, almost doing a bearish reversal here. Okay, now you can see on the 3-bar chart, even the bigger time frame, they have melted through the 200 SMA, broke the rubber band candle at the midpoint, and have meandered down past the lower third and into the lower quadrant. So they may have to test these lows before making new highs. So we'll have to see what happens. I did not think that was going to happen. I really thought the 200 SMA would have provided some support either on the 15-minute right here or the 3-bar chart right here. Okay, but neither one. Everything kind of failed us. The 200 SMA failed us, the midpoint failed us, and the 15-minute 200 SMA failed us. So there's T2123. So we're having a kind of like a pullback meltdown in the major markets. Well, in the markets overall. So now we'll take a look at FNGU. Here's yesterday's price action. This would be the pre-market in the shaded section. You can see them consolidating right up where they consolidated prior to pulling back yesterday. So here's FNGU. You've got green from beginning to end. So FNGU just bullied all day over this rising 200 SMA. So FNGU getting it done for us. That's about the only thing lifting the indices, along with a few securities inside the SMH and the XLK. So now we'll take a look at, let's go take a look at some energy. So we'll head back over here. We'll take a look at USO. Okay, USO, new surprise here. Okay, put in a new high. Well, excuse me, a higher high. All right, so that places USO in an uptrend. You can see USO closed over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. So USO fighting off the downtrend, and this would be our downtrend line. You can see how price action came up, broke through, pulled back, found some support, and is now trying to challenge the prior resistance right up here. So we'll see if they can break through and consolidate right on top of, well, let me just put a line in right there. Okay, if they can break through this resistance, consolidate up on top of there, that would be a good sign. and they may have to consolidate underneath it for probably 5 or 6 days before finally breaking through. But USO starting a new uptrend. Let's take a look at UNG. This is UNG in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. Had a pullback. Again, here's another one that failed to make the higher high. So we got a double top up here. It's very possible, just like the T2123, that we have a pullback to challenge these lows before ripping back up and creating a new high. So here's UNG, yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish cross right there, okay, and also underneath the 17 EMA. That's UNG. Take a look at some precious metals. Start off with silver. Both precious metals, gold and silver, are in downtrends, making lower highs and lower lows. Yesterday's price action was an inside day for silver with a higher low and a lower high, closing inside the bearish trap underneath the flat 17 EMA there. Gold, all right, also in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Okay, not until they take out this high are they going to be bullish. So here's gold, yesterday's price action. That would be this candle right here, making a lower high and a lower low, closing inside the bearish trap under, looks like kind of a flat 17 EMA. That's for gold. All right, we'll take a look at a few sectors. Take a look at SMH. All right, SMH, new all-time high. Take a look at XLK. XLK, new all-time high. I think I already did those. XLF. All right, so XLF having some trouble in the regional banks. Again, I don't know why, and it's probably due to the bond rates. But here's yesterday's price action for XLF. Still in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Okay, not till we take out this high up here are we going to be in an uptrend. Okay, so we got to take out this high right there. So you can see here's XLF underneath a downtrend watch right there. Okay, so XLF yesterday, higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap, but under the 17 EMA. Okay, you got two anchored VWAPs. You got one here and one there. You can see price action is just in the past 3 days has not closed inside here. Actually 4 days, 5 days. Been 5 days. Price action has not even closed inside the pinch. Okay, that's the lower anchored VWAP and the higher anchored VWAP. So XLF still in a downtrend. Take a look at IYT. All right, transports. Transports have been making lower highs and lower lows, putting them also in a downtrend. Look like they tried to fight it off. Looks like they lost that battle. Again, yesterday's price action got a, make sure I got the right one. That's the 14th. Here's yesterday. Higher low and a higher high, but closed underneath a bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. So at IYT transports still in a downtrend. Let's take a look at our economic calendar. It's not much that is going on that could stop the bulls if they wanted to create a rally. All right, but we'll take a look over here and you can see what we got. All right, so yesterday not much was reported in Empire State Manufacturing Index at 8:30. All right, Tuesday, retail sales coming out this morning at 8:30. 9:15 industrial production. Business inventory is at 10. And some Fed speakers scattered throughout the rest of the day. Tomorrow, we have a day off. All right, markets are closed. But they are going to release some data at 10 o'clock, and that's the housing market index, excuse me. So, housing market index at 10. Thursday, we normally get a petroleum report. Well, they passed off the petroleum report till Thursday. You're going to see that at 11 a.m. All right. And then Thursday morning, we got MBA mortgage applications at 7. Housing starts, 8:30. Jobless claims, 8:30. Philly Fed manufacturing index, 8:30. Current account, 8:30. Kashkari's going to speak. And that's pretty much it. Friday, another light day with PMI composite flash existing home sales. Leading indicators at 10, but all in all, a light economic week. No CPI, no FOMC statements, no GDP. So, excuse me again. So there's a light week there if the bulls wanted to rally this up to 550. Let me just say they got pretty close yesterday. 548.50 about. I think that's about close to the high that they got. So they had a nice run. Just came up $1.50 short. Maybe they complete that this morning. We'll see what they want to do. Max Pain for today, 544. And the put to call ratio is very similar to yesterday. Almost 1.5 puts to every call. Yesterday was 1.5 puts to every call. And that's referring to the calls and puts that only expire today. Okay, that's not the overall open interest. This is just the puts. This is just the open interest that expires today. Earnings calendar. Well, Lennar reported last night. Let's see what we got here. Again, not much on the earnings calendar. You can see there's some familiar names, but nothing that's really going to move the markets here. Wednesday, again, we're closed Wednesday. Really light day on Wednesday. Thursday, Accenture's going to report. That's 180 billion. Then comes Kroger, 38 billion. Darden Restaurants, 17 billion. Jabil, 14 billion. Okay, again, nothing that's really going to move the markets. But they are some familiar names. Friday, Coca-Cola is going to try to find their P&L so they can report sometime on Friday and Monday. Again, nothing that's really going to rock and roll the markets, but some familiar names. That's it for right there. So we come back. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index. So we had some red yesterday, okay? Kind of inspired a little bit of a rally. And you can see this morning we've got nothing but green again. So U.S. dollar index still in an uptrend. All right, still in an uptrend. We have to break this low right here in order to even begin calling it a downtrend. But right now it's still keeps closing candles over this high right here. This is the 200 SMA. That 200, the red line there, you can see price action came back, bounced off of it hard, and made new highs back up here. So U.S. dollar index in an uptrend. So, excuse me again. I just want to talk about a little bit of something in SPY. All right, so because I'm a big trader of SPY and the options in there. Okay, now I was saying down here, if the market buys this up, typically when the market buys this up, right here, all right, they want a 2-for-1 risk-reward ratio. So what I like to do is kind of find the midpoint of this and then measure it off. Nah, don't need to include all that. But they usually I would think that the market would want a 2-for-1 risk-reward ratio. So, and then I start duplicating these and stacking them up on top. That one could probably go a little bit lower right there. All right, so there's one. So here's one risk unit buying this up. There's one reward unit. But, you know, the market, they usually like 2 or 3. So here's 2. Right up there. So that, if that was their risk unit and this is their reward unit, you could see that we have a potential to get to 552.15. All right. So keep that in mind. 552.15. Now I've been saying pretty much since maybe the 25th or so, probably got a good chance we're going for 550. All right. It didn't look possible with the IYT not participating because they've been in a downtrend since probably the 25th. It didn't look possible with the XLF not participating because I think they've been in a downtrend since the 28th. All right. But lo and behold, those heavyweights in the indices have been carrying the market higher, irregardless of what the other 7,000 or 490 stocks do in the indice or in the market. Those most heavily weighted have been carrying the SPY indice and some of the sectors that are weighted also, and the QQQ up to higher highs. Okay, so you can see that's what's been happening. Now, in regards to what happened yesterday, okay, so I'm just going to go through a small exercise with you. Okay, so this is my planted VWAP here. Okay, now I'm going to show you. Let's just going to plant this at the all-time highs. Okay, so here's the all-time highs right there. All right, before any of this happens, okay, now price moves up and consolidates, okay? So let's look at it. It breaks through. I did a webinar on this, and it's called Understanding How I Swing Trade. So you got an all-time high. Now price gets and breaks through the resistance. So I'm just going to put a line in here. This would be the resistance, because you can see price goes up to it several times. All right, so that would be resistance. Remember, all of this hasn't happened yet. Okay, so you can see now price goes up and goes over resistance. Now we want resistance to act as support. We consolidate for 3 days straight. Okay, after consolidating for 3 days, guess what happened on the 4th day? Yeah, you guessed it. That's what I was calling out yesterday. I'm expecting one of these moves, okay, on SPY. Okay, all-time high anchored VWAP, break resistance, hold for 3 days, watch for the rip. The rip should be imminently soon, all right? So there's SPY, all-time high, break resistance, hold for 3 days, and what did we got? We got the rip. Okay, that's what I was talking about. We're probably going to SPY 550. Not to mention, probably got a measured move in here as well. We could check that out as well if you want to. But let's just take from this low up to this high. So I'm going to take my boxes here, and I'm going to move that one up to there, and I'm going to move this one, well, right down to there, slide it over, see if that fulfills that box. Okay, so there's one box. All right, now I'm going to duplicate that box. All right, and then I'm going to slide it in on the low down here. Okay, so from this low to this high, okay, this could probably come in just a little bit more. So bring this in just a little bit more. All right, so from this low to this high, and then from this low to the projected target, 550.92, maybe 551, right about there. Okay, that's a measured move higher. See that? Goes up, consolidates, and then you get another move up. So looking for 551 maybe sometime this week, because we got nothing to stop us other than the dollar being bullish, which doesn't seem to have stopped us yet. Okay, so when we trade, all right, and I mentioned this yesterday, all right, it's just a basic green erases red. So let's go through and see it. Okay, I'm already telling you on today I'm expecting the breakout. Okay, so this is how I trade. I go to the 10-minute chart. All right. And what I want to see is green erase red. Okay, so let's just take yesterday's price action. So I'm going to move this over. Going to blow this up a little bit more. Going to move it over some more. Okay, I can't. So here we are. Here's the move down right here. So we have a move down. Okay, we have a move down from here down to here. Okay, so when the green comes in, okay, and we erase this move down, this becomes my entry. Okay, green erases red. All right, that's an entry for me. I need a 10-minute uptrend, a 2-hour uptrend, and that's green erases red. That's an entry for me. Okay, then I said right here, you can either add to your position or start a new one. Again, another entry. Here's red. Green erases red right here. Okay, so there's another entry. Okay, now green erases red again. There's another entry. And then we do it again. And then we do it again. Okay, and then we do it again. All right, now we're getting past 12 o'clock. All right, you really got to start thinking about 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you know, how much time is left in the day. Do you want to keep doing this? We've already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to add. I mean, I believe in pressing your luck, but, you know, getting 4 aces in a row, it doesn't usually happen, okay? It's a very rare occurrence, all right? This is 4 aces in a row, okay? It's actually 6 different entries, but let me just say, that's being dealt 4 aces, okay? Out of a stack of 52, or who knows, maybe a 7 book deck. So, but anyways, that's right there. You know, you kind of don't want to push your luck past, you know, 2 o'clock. But you had 1 entry, 2 entries, 3 entries, and you had the premise that this is the 3rd day. Okay? So you had on the daily chart, and I'm pointing it out, 1, 2, 3 days consolidating on support. And I said, this might be the day I'm expecting a breakout to make new highs today. Okay? And I said it long before it even happened. Okay? And I've also been saying SPY 550 way back here. All right? Ever since I saw this move up and consolidate bullish, SPY 550. All right? So here's SPY. We made a lot of good money. Now, let me just point out, this is the Andrews pitchfork, okay? And it's these purple lines, so I'm going to delete this. Okay, just want to point this out. We are at pretty much the upper edge of that Andrews pitchfork. That doesn't mean we have to stop there. Doesn't mean we can't spike through and hit 551 today. That's a possibility that we do that. Just want to point that out, that we are near the edge. Okay, I'm still going to play my 10-minute uptrends. Okay, over the pivot, 544.20. When I see green erase red, I'm going to look for that uptrend to play up there. All right? Yeah. All right, traders. Yeah. All right, traders. I got to go. I will talk to you.